live?
Are we
I
live?
think we're live. I think we're live. Woo, we're live. Hi, everyone. Let us know in the chat right now if you can see us and if you can hear us and if the sound is okay, because we can always turn the mic up if we need to.
Yeah.
So just drop us a thing in the chat. Let us know that you can see us. It is 8 p.m. And we're ready to go.
UK time, that is.
8 p.m. UK time, yeah. So just let us know in the chat right now if you can see us and if you can hear us. If not, we will need to turn the mic up and whatnot. So, yeah.
Maybe the chat is a bit faster on the phone. Let me just have a look.
Yeah, check the chat on your phone. I think...
We see you when we hear you. We can see and hear you.
Hey,
I see you.
they see us and hear us. Okay, hi everyone.
Oh, wait.
What?
Sound is low on my end.
Sound
Shall we
is-
turn the microphone up?
Sound is low for a couple of people. So just turning the mic up a little bit. Hopefully that doesn't distort now.
Is that alright, people? Yeah?
Let us know if the sound is fine. Sound is good? Good, yep. Red Ninja says good on both aspects. Hear and see you well. Hey everyone, hey purple people. We are the Violet Reality. My name's Casey Rain. This is Kim Camellia. She's looking at her phone, but she needs to be looking at you.
She's trying to look at the chat.
She's trying to look at everything at the same time.
Because she can't see the chat on the laptop because like she needs glasses, but she's like stubborn. But hey, yeah. So first of all, we hope you're all okay. We hope you got some snacks, maybe some like purple food, whatever you prefer. Maybe even some like Prince-themed cocktails, whatever you like, and you're all safe at home and you're okay. And yeah, we just wanted to say hi, and we're very aware of the situation that's going on in the world right now.
So, first of all, I just want to say thank you to all of you who are watching this live stream, first of all. And also thank you to all of you who have watched our series, Prince, the Facts You Didn't Know, over the past 3 to 4 months. When we started that series in December with the For You album and started going chronologically, we didn't know if it was something that people would be interested in watching or not. And just a few months later, it's been our most successful series to date. We've had so much amazing feedback about that series. At least 5 of the videos that we've done are in the top 10 most viewed videos of all time on our channel. And the Purple Rain one, obviously we always need the Purple Rain one, would probably be interesting to some folks. But the Purple Rain Facts You Didn't Know video is now the #1 video of all time on our channel, and that's just absolutely incredible. So thank you all again for all your feedback and watching those videos and enjoying them. Before we get into the things that we wanted to do right now, I also wanted to say, the reason we're doing this live is because even though Celebration would have been happening in June and not April, and now postponed to the fall, obviously on this day other stuff would have been happening. People would have still been going to Minneapolis. There would have been gigs, there would have been all sorts of things happening, and because of this pandemic that we're in, none of that stuff is happening. And then on a day like today, 4 years to the day that we lost Prince, that really hits hard. And I think to be able to do something that is part of that, gives you part of that community feeling, is that's just something that we felt like we wanted to do. We wanted to be here with all of you talking about the person that we love, the person that we lost 4 years ago. That felt for us like that would be the perfect thing to do. So on top of that, I wanted to say everybody at this point probably either knows someone or knows someone who knows someone that has been really, really badly affected by COVID-19. Some of you may have lost people or have people who have lost people close to them, and it's just the most horrendous thing. And so for all of you playing your part and staying at home and doing social distancing and all of that stuff, especially now the weather's getting better and everybody really wants to be outside, I just wanted to personally say thank you. My sister is type 1 diabetic. She is an at-risk person due to having a pre-existing condition. I'm sure many of you know people in similar situations. All it takes is one person to go outside when they shouldn't have done, and they might have had it or been symptomatic, and they spread it to multiple people, and it just makes the whole thing worse. So thank you again, all of you who have been playing your part as we get through this horrible pandemic. That's just what I wanted to say. What we're going to get into now is something really fun that I thought of a few days ago. You want to say what it is?
Yes. So, sorry if I've been like squinting at the screen. I've been trying to read some of the chat comments. First of all, I also wanted to say hello to everybody in the chat. Thank you so much for joining us, and we're really happy that you took some time out of your day to come chat with us. That means a lot, because obviously you didn't have to do that, and yet you're here listening to us. So, thank you so much. So, we put a little post. So, you know how YouTube has like these community pages, right? So, we put a little post on there the other day, and then we asked you how you will be spending this day, because it's such an odd situation to be in at the moment, where you're obviously at home and like you can't really go anywhere. So the only way that we can connect with each other is really through the internet. And then we got so many wonderful comments from all of you, and we're going to read out some of them because we thought that would be a nice thing to do. So,
yeah. So we got so many amazing responses on our community status that we posted about what everyone's going to be doing on this day and how everybody celebrates Prince on this day in their own way, because there's so many things you could be doing. You know, you could be watching a live stream.
Yeah.
You could be watching as many Prince concerts on video as
Totally.
you could possibly get on YouTube or wherever else. You could be listening to specific albums that mean a lot to you, or all of his albums. You could be watching the Grammy thing that's going to be happening tonight.
Yeah.
I'm sure a lot of people in the chat are going to be watching that tonight. We're certainly going to be checking
Yeah.
it out. All manner of things that people could be doing and are doing on this day to celebrate the life and career of Prince, the person that we all love. So let's just read out a few. I'm just going to grab my little iPad and read a few comments. So maybe some of the people who left comments will be here in this chat. And after that, we're going to get in the chat with you guys and talk about whatever you'd like to talk about and answer any questions or anything that you want to do after that. So, okay, let's look at the comments. So Eric Campbell, shout out to Eric Campbell. He says, I'll be remembering Prince in the same way as I do every other day, a supremely gifted, bold individual who never apologized for being different. I mean, that just says it all, really, doesn't it? I mean, truer words were never spoken. Thank you, Eric, for that one. A really special one next. Shout out to Katie Wu. Katie Wu says, I'll be listening to The Most Beautiful Girl on vinyl, as it was supposed to be the song I was walking down the aisle to, and our wedding has been postponed due to the pandemic. I'll be raising a glass to Prince and celebrating his life with my fiance and our favourite Prince song. Shout out to you, Katie.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry that you had to postpone your wedding, probably something you'd been planning for a very long time, one of the most special days of your life. I really hope that you can get your wedding as soon as possible, and it will be the most magical day that you and your fiance and your family and friends want it to be. And so glad that Prince is a part of that.
Definitely.
You want to read some?
Yes. So this is a comment from Silver Mist 1216. And they're saying, playing his music and watching Under the Cherry Moon. That movie brings me joy. Oh, I love that movie. Don't you all think that Prince has such a fantastic sense of humor? Like, he doesn't even have to try to be funny. He just is. And his, like, charisma on the screen is just such a good movie. So that's a great chat.
I'm not here for anyone saying a bad word about Under the Cherry Moon. I think Under the Cherry Moon is a cinematic masterpiece.
Alright, then DJ Hightone says, I never lost him. Paisley Park is in my heart. I wholeheartedly agree with that, honestly. Like, he's still around us. His spirit is around us, and you can find him in this music and just in everything you do. You can just feel him.
And I hope, regardless of when celebration's going to happen or whatever else happens, that everyone who is able to get to Paisley Park as soon as possible, when it's safe to do so, we can all do that. This time a year ago and 2 years ago, we were at Paisley Park, or we were in Minneapolis about to go to Paisley Park, and just meeting so many people at Paisley Park over the course of those few days and seeing the bands perform and hearing all the stories from people, it is just such a magical experience. It's just so amazing to be able to do that. So shout out to the people at Paisley Park. Obviously, as a business, they're suffering just like any other business. And hopefully they're able to get through it, and we can all be there at some point in the future. And until that time, it will be in all of our hearts.
Absolutely. Okay, I really, really love this person's username. Purple Cat Confetti. I love your username. It's great.
Purple Cat Confetti, is that the name?
Yes. So, every day is Prince Day with me. Bought a turtle cheesecake to eat in his honor. I wish I could...
Does that mean purple?
Yeah.
Not a turtle cheesecake. I think
It says turtle, but it's fine. Either a purple turtle cheesecake. You could do that as well. That's fine too. I wish I could afford a Vanessa's Cheesecake Funk, which Prince loves so much. He absolutely did. Yes. Shout out to you.
Shout out to Vanessa for that cheesecake funk.
And then they're also going to watch the Grammy salute to Prince tonight.
Yeah. All right. Marianne Choromansky says, I will be listening to Prince's music 24 hours a day and celebrating this musical genius. I'm not saying I won't cry because I know I will. I feel that.
Same.
Woke up this morning just, When I made that, I don't know if you saw, I made that post. I just posted the lyrics to Come Back, and like, I can't even read those lyrics without just... Anyway, I still have and always will have a broken heart. I love Miss Prince so damn much. Same, Marianne. Nicole Hall says, playing his music and watching Purple Rain. It's always a good time to watch Purple Rain.
Yes, absolutely.
There's never a bad time to watch Purple
No.
Rain. So that works. Skipintosh says, playing some songs on my guitar. Nice.
Oh, nice.
Got my purple paisley strap. I'll definitely play Sometimes It Snows in April and Noon Rendezvous. 2 amazing songs to play on guitar.
Also, if you do happen to have a YouTube channel or a Twitter channel or whatever, and you have a link to us that we can listen to it, let us know, because we'd love to hear some of your...
Absolutely. Absolutely. Stephanie Meals says, I plan to work only part of the day, so the remainder of the day I can play his music, wear my new t-shirt with his face on it, get some cupcakes, order carry out, and watch the Grammys tribute. I just want to celebrate him, period. Amazing. Speaking of t-shirts with faces on, let's just take a quick pause to look at these 2 phenomenal shirts that we've got on. And I wanted to tell you all a quick couple of stories about these 2 shirts that we have on. First of all, this one, I wore this time last year at Celebration, and you may or may not know. If you were at Celebration and you saw us, then you probably know. They gave us these media passes for the channel so that we could report on Celebration. And when we got in there, they had the riser at the back of the soundstage at Paisley Park, and all the Prince's family was sitting on the riser. And the Paisley Park people said, do you guys want to go and sit up there with the family? And we were like, whoa, of course. We'd be honored. And so we got up there, we sat down. I sat down next to Sharon Nelson, Prince's sister, and obviously I'm quite tall. So I sit down, and she just turns to me and she says, looks like my brother's lips. And I was like, it is. That was really funny. It was just a really funny moment. So that's that. Whenever I wear this shirt, I always think of that moment. And as for Kim's shirt,
I'll tell you the story about mine. So this one, I don't know, like if you follow me on Instagram, which you're happy to do, you know that I'm a collector of like vintage clothing, and so I love vintage Prince t-shirts, and this one is pretty special because if you look a little bit closer, I don't know if you're going to be able to see this because there's a delay in what we can see on the screen, but this is a photo by no one else but Nicole Notland, which we had the pleasure of meeting her. When did we actually, quite some time ago, but we still are in touch with her, and she's just an amazing person, and I'm so grateful to be able to call her our friend. So sending all of our love to Nicole in times of lockdown, because she took the most amazing photos of Prince. Just incredible.
If for some of you that might be newer to our channel, Nicole Nodland was obviously Prince's photographer around the Exodus era, which this shirt is from, and the Gold Experience era. Incredible photographer. And we interviewed her for our series that's called Uncovering Prince. The interview with her is on our channel. She is just the loveliest person, just the most kindest, warm-hearted person. We went to her home and talked to her, and she just treated us like family, even though we had just met her for the first time before we did the interview with her. And we're still in touch, as Kim said. Nicole, we love you, Nicole. I don't know if Nicole is watching, but if she is, we love you, Nicole. We'll speak to you again soon.
All right, so we're totally going off track here, and
anyway,
at this rate, the stream's gonna continue till the Grammy start.
I was just reminded by that comment I said about wearing a new T-shirt.
Yeah. Okay.
Minister of Darkness says, jamming his tunes on my turntable all day and night, because we all know that turntables is the best way to listen to Prince's music.
There is no, well, I guess you can obviously, like, everyone has different opinions on this, but in our opinion, there's no better way to listen to music than on vinyl, especially, like, older vinyl where you can hear, like, the scratchy sounds if it's been around. Oh, just the best.
There's nothing like just dropping that needle on the vinyl and hearing that little sound.
Yeah.
And the warmth. Vinyl is just so warm compared to everything else.
But then also, it's quite a workout because you always have to flip it over to the other side, so you're also, like, actively doing something when you're listening to vinyl.
Exactly. Hope, we've been so happy to see vinyl making a comeback over the last few years, and that the Prince estate have been putting the new stuff and the reissues, the Vault stuff out on vinyl. The sets they've made, those deluxe sets on vinyl, just phenomenal work. I remember when we got that Emancipation one, which had never been on vinyl before, and it was just this huge vinyl box. If you've got the Emancipation reissue vinyl box, you know what we're talking about. And to see all that art blown up and the lyrics, just amazing. Amazing.
I was like, so obviously I'm not going to repeat this in every single video that we do, but Emancipation is my favorite album. I think it's partly because it, like, came out right before I was born, basically, so I love that they did that, so thanks so much for that. Anyway, back to the comments, because we're making this too long. Okay, yeah.
This one, I think. You want to read that one?
That one.
I am Aaron.
Okay, I am Aaron says, let me just grab the iPad. Okay, I somehow found a Girl 6 CD that I thought I lost many years ago. Whoa, that's awesome.
That's a good one.
Yeah, I played it yesterday. Uncanny timing, as I was thinking about repurchasing it. I think about Prince often. We do too. And also, like, even if you did end up repurchasing it, nothing wrong with having 2 of each Prince item, honestly.
I mean, like, if you had lost Girl 6, that would have been, like, really tough because it hasn't been reissued ever since it came out. So that one is a little bit like, you can't walk into well, not that there are many music stores left these days, but you can't just walk into a music store and buy Girl 6. That would be cool if they reissued that.
Totally, yeah.
But anyway,
we literally, like, want reissues of everything, and for, like, a lot of the stuff in the folder, but that's a video for another day.
Reissue all the things,
literally everything,
and free the vault.
Okay. Ed H says, it's really good to see so much love for Prince in the comments. Shout out to everybody. Well, shout out right back to you, Ed.
Ed H. We love you.
Okay. Then...
Which one?
Purple Mercury.
Okay. So, Purple Mercury 46 says, I will be remembering him by listening to his music, of course, watching all the movies he has made, and having a lovely conversation with my friend who also loves Prince.
Aww,
that's what it's all
fun.
about.
Yeah.
Purple conversations. That's the best thing, This Purple community, shout out to all of the content creators and all the bloggers and all the writers and all the podcasters in the community, Nightchild and Mr. Ant and everyone. Amazing. Like,
there's so many amazing people out there.
Bringing the community together.
We've literally got everything. We've got YouTube channels, we've got amazing podcasts that you can listen to, we've got people running incredible Facebook groups and pages, Twitter accounts where people literally do, like, live tweets where they're, like, listening to albums, or, like, they put loads of photos. There's so much amazing content out there. So
you can never run out of content. And speaking of content, I just want to give a massive shout out to 2 people, Ernest Sewell and Lucas, aka the Double A Side. Both of them are contributing writers to thevioletreality.com, and both of them submitted absolutely incredible articles today. So Ernest wrote an article about some of the ways that fans deal with grief that are not so great, so conspiracy theories and how that doesn't help and we all need to heal and move on. It was really well written. And Lucas, the Double A Side, he wrote an article which is, just the most in-depth deep dive into the Piano and a Microphone tour and the Beautiful Ones, the Unfinished Memoir. Just the most in-depth study of that era that I think I've ever read. Shout out to Ernest and Lucas. How Lucas is not a world famous music journalist at this point is beyond me, because that level of writing is just incredible. So if you get a chance later tonight, go to thevioletreality.com, read those 2 articles by Ernest and Double A Side. Just phenomenal writing. We're so lucky to know both of them and everybody else that writes for us and everybody else in the content creator community.
Absolutely. And also, I just forgot to mention something. I forgot to mention all the amazing DJs that always host all the Prince parties, and just anyone that's been doing sets on, like, live streams and everything. Like, thanks so much for that as well. If we forgot to mention you, obviously haven't forgotten you, but there's so many amazing people out there. Like, literally, go subscribe to all of them, watch them, give them love, because everyone's having a really tough day today, and it's such a fantastic thing that we're keeping a spirit alive this way. All of us are, for like generations and generations to come.
Yeah. So next comment, Kat Whiten. Hey Kat, hope you're watching. Kat Whiten says, I always light my purple symbol candles and watch concerts and listen to music that suits the mood I'm in. I mean, Prince has music for every mood, so that's why we love him. Last year I was very up, but I already get the feeling this year I'll be feeling different. I was looking forward to watching the Grammys tribute if I can find where to watch it, but that's been tarnished with all of this business with Apollonia and Sheila. You know, we're not going to get into that because, you know, that's, you know, I hope that gets resolved, and that's all I'm going to say. You know, people should be free to speak their mind, but also, you know, does it help? Does it heal? Should some things be better said in private? You know, we don't know, but that's just our take on it. We try to keep it positive. That's, you know, but people express themselves in different ways, and you know, that's all we can really say about that.
Okay,
but thanks to Kat Whiten for that comment.
There are so many of these, everyone. Thank you so much. Okay, let me just have a little read, and then I'll just read a few of them. Okay, so which one shall I do? Okay, this one is really nice. So J. Louis or Lois, sorry if I pronounced your name wrong. 82 says, gosh, I remember that day like it was yesterday. Prince was my musical hero. Today I'll be listening to his music as I work in the office.
Yep. This one? You want to read it?
You can read it.
Okay. So Yolanda G says, I will be putting my new Prince decals on my car. Amazing. I wish I had some of those, or a car to put on. Maybe one day. I will listen to his music like I always do. Tomorrow evening, I guess this evening now, I will look at the Grammy celebration even though I know I will be in tears. I will also put on my purple Prince earrings and necklace to pay homage to him. This day will be tough on me. I still get emotional. I loved him so. I want to see those purple Prince earrings. That sounds awesome, but absolutely.
Reading all these comments is making me go from like, to like in the time span of like a second, because everyone's comments are so heartfelt, and then all of you in the chat are being really super nice as well, and it's just a really good vibe, and thank you so much. I wish there was some way where you could like do a massive YouTube call where you could have like, or invite everybody and everybody could just say the right thing. We'll figure this out for next time, alright? We'll do like a massive sort of party or something like that. Okay.
Pammy says, wearing my raspberry beret.
Yes,
I like
love
it.
that.
Don't you have a raspberry beret?
I have many things, some of which I do not know what they are.
I love it. I love it when I see people wearing things like raspberry berets. And there was a guy at Celebration last year with the cloud suit on, and people making their kind of own versions of the Love Sexy outfits and all that. Like, people put so much effort into it. Shout out to our friend Leah who put a picture on Twitter, and I saw her when she did it actually. She had done the Gemini outfit for a Prince party. Just perfect.
Oh, that was so cool. I wasn't there for that party, but that was such an outfit, Leah. Shout out to you.
Yeah, so people who put all the effort into these accessories and outfits, just
wow.
Amazing,
yeah.
Amazing stuff. Diana Williams says, Casey, you got to come to Nashville. We would love to come to Nashville. That's in Tennessee. It's in Tennessee, right? Nashville, yeah, Nashville, Tennessee. So we were in Memphis last year.
Yeah.
And we saw like the road sign saying this many kilometers or miles or whatever to Nashville, and we thought, you know what, we should go to Nashville. So I echo that sentiment. I would love to come to Nashville. If we come to Nashville, we'll let you know, and we'll hang out, and
yes.
we'll have a fun Prince party or something. So Diana Williams, this is the final comment we're going to read from these ones that we got the other day. Diana Williams says, we will be debuting The Letter on Peace, Love and Prince channel. Shout out to Peace, Love and Prince channel. Love you guys. We are still debating because it was truly written strictly for serious Prince fans. It's the story of a letter written to Prince from his grieving guitar. We're trying to decide if it's too personal. The family and fans will get it and its meaning, of course, but some might not. Got a few days to decide. I think I saw that, I didn't see the video yet, but I think I saw that did get uploaded earlier today, so we're going to check that out. Amazing. Just that kind of level of creativity, and it's something that we should all aspire to. Love it very much.
Thank you so much for all these amazing comments, everyone. Alright, so now it's time for us to go on another device and look at all of your chat comments and actually shout some of them out and chat back to you and respond to some of the questions.
So we are now officially reading
Yeah.
reading your guys' chats.
All right, let me just get my phone and have a look.
Let's see.
All right.
So,
we could maybe pull it up on the iPad as well.
I can read it from here.
Yeah, I can't. Everybody has now figured out that I need glasses or lenses, but I'm totally stubborn. So
Emily Rose says, I'm so jealous of other people dressing in Prince stuff right now. I mean, there's so much stuff out there. I mean, you know, it's just amazing. I feel like if you really have the will to do it, then you know, it can be done. Dawn says, if you do go to Nashville, only a 4-hour drive for me. Okay, cool, let's do it. Purple people in the house. Collapsible says, have you done a video on For You? Would love to hear the story leading up to the album. Yes, we have. For You, The Facts You Didn't Know. It was the first one in the series because we're going chronologically.
Yeah.
If you go to our main page and you go to the playlist section, there's a playlist of all the videos in that series called Prince The Facts, and For You is the first one in that list. And it set the tone. You know, the album set the tone for everything Prince did after that, but, you know, in the same way, our video that we made of the format of getting it done, that you know, was the same thing.
Oh, if we're talking about For You, the opening track is just like every time I listen to them, I'm just like, whoa.
How many vocal harmonies can you get on one song? And they're all flawless.
Right?
Come on.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, let's look. Jude says, who are you looking forward to the most on the tribute? You know, it's hard to say because often I've found in the past when I've read about these tributes and seen who's doing what song and stuff, something comes along and blows you away that you weren't expecting to be, you know, that good or in a different take on it or whatever, and then you don't really know until you watch it. I read the Earth, Wind and Fire on it. Earth, Wind and Fire, phenomenal in anything that they do, so definitely looking forward to that. Obviously the Revolution, cannot get enough of seeing the Revolution. We've seen them twice, I think, in the last year. Or the last 18 months or so, once here in the UK, once at Paisley Park, where we were literally up against the barriers, like Brown Mark playing his incredible bass solos. That was just an amazing experience. So anything the Revolution do will be phenomenal. I hear whispers that the performance of America at tonight's thing is very, very good. So looking forward to that. I think it's going to be cool. I think it's St. Vincent. Yeah, 71 Martinez says in the chat St. Vincent. I absolutely agree. St. Vincent is amazing. Yeah. Looking forward.
I love this comment, Gary Wright. Been listening to Prince since 1980. Oh, I wish I would have been born a little bit earlier so that I could have experienced all of that, but that's amazing.
I'm trying to scroll up. I was about to read something and then so many chats. Richard Orton says, do you know when Sign of the Times Deluxe will drop? I'm afraid not. I've been digging for as much info as I can, and sometimes that bears fruit and sometimes it doesn't. I feel like a little bit closer to the time. I feel like they know about our methods and they're trying to hide stuff very well from us. But what I did hear that's interesting about Sign of the Times Deluxe is there was some speculation that if they don't release it, then Sony might get the rights to that one. I don't know how that necessarily works or if that's true. If it is true, then yeah, I would expect Sign of the Times Deluxe sooner rather than later. But it kind of seems like they're, you know, following a very kind of set timeline. So earlier in the year, you get the Sony reissues. So like obviously we've got the Rainbow Children One Night Alone coming up very soon, next month. And then the Warner Brothers stuff, the more sort of deluxe stuff with Vault stuff and concert stuff, tends to come towards the end of the year. So I would expect Sign of the Times Deluxe to drop at the end of this year. But having said that, you know, manufacturing of physical media like vinyl and CDs and DVDs or stuff, it's delayed because of the pandemic. You know, who knows at this point if stuff's going to get delayed or not. I suppose it depends on, you know, maybe before they would have submitted everything and ordered everything, you know, a couple of months before or a month before to get it all done in time. Yeah. Maybe now they'll just have to do that further in advance. Well, it all remains to be seen. I think the estate are really getting into gear and doing great stuff. So, you know, hopefully a thorough, incredible Sign of the Times super deluxe set on the level or even surpassing the level of the 1999 deluxe set. That's what we all want.
We'll just get it the way it was meant to be with all of the CDs, the way that he wanted to do it.
Exactly.
All right.
I got another one.
I've got one too. I think we might have the same one. But
Alessandro Tincini says, your interview with Anna Fantastic is, well, fantastic.
I think the comments are a little bit behind on the laptop because I have new ones here, so...
Okay. Let's just talk about that, because thank you so much. I feel like that was the first video interview that we did.
Yes.
And so we were still like very, very like green, didn't really know what we were doing, but it came out so well, and Anna was, so kind to us and so forthcoming with the stories that she shared. Funny story about that is literally 5 minutes before we hit record on that interview, we had this light set up in Anna's living room so that we could get it lit properly. It wasn't our light, it was their light that they'd found in their house, and we were trying to light the shot up. And about 5 minutes before we hit record, I don't know what happened, the light just tipped over and the bulb smashed. And we were all like, does Prince not want us to do this interview? Was that you? Are you playing a prank on us?
That was that was kind of like the birth of uncovering Prince being video material, so that was pretty awesome. Okay, I love this question and I really want to answer it. So it's Mr. Nelson89, great username again, says, what Prince albums made you two fans? Well, I think I can guess your one.
Can you?
Yes. So it's not Sign of the Times by any chance, is it?
No. I mean,
It's so hard to say. It's so hard to say. I mean, Sign of the Times was probably the moment when I heard it that I realized this guy wasn't just good. He's literally like the best that ever did it. That was when it really solidified, because the range of that album.
Oh, totally.
Every track sounds completely different and yet is incredible.
Yes.
So I was a fan before that, and there was a bunch of albums I liked before that and songs that I loved. But when I listened to that album the first time, start to back, that was when I was like, I am done. Nothing is better than this. I've never in my life heard anything as good as this. So it kind of went from there. And I
think for me it wasn't so much an album, but it was like, because I'm sure like VH1 and VH1 Classic and stuff like that still on TV, but then like when I was growing up there was still channels around like MTV somewhat, and then there was TMF in Holland, which was the music factory. I don't know if other countries have
we had that
as
in
well.
the UK.
Yeah. So I think either of them played Little Red Corvette this one night when I was very young, and I was just like, oh my god, this man in the shiny coat, and I was just all like glued to the TV. And well, after that, you know what it's like now, and me wearing a Prince. I've never stopped being a fan after that. Like, I literally dedicated most of my younger life to studying his music, always listening to him at any quiet moment I could find. And yeah, so I guess the album that links to would have been the album that made me a fan.
I remember that the first time I went to your house, and when we had just started dating, like I walked in and the first thing I saw was Controversy on vinyl, and I was like, okay, she knows.
I think I have the original Controversy shower poster somewhere. So, yeah. Original vinyl, original poster.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Mason Bennett says, can we get a look at the wall behind you? What's your favourite item? I don't really want to start sort of reaching over and moving the webcam around. We can certainly, take some photos of it, or, it's in a lot of our videos, so at different angles. So if you watch a few of our videos, you'll see a few things about
it. This is really cool. This Rave Into the Joy Fantastic banner.
Yes, this is a soft material promo banner for Rave Into the Joy Fantastic. Then next to it is a canvas of Marco, aka 1999 Art. Yep. Shout out to Marco, obviously from Love Sexy. Those are both amazing things. Over there, you can't see it on camera, but we've got a framed picture that Afshin Shahidi gifted to us. We co-produced Afshin's gallery event here in London. When was that? Like a year ago? Like
something like
beginning
that.
Of last year. Afshin Shahidi's gallery event in London. We hosted it, co-produced the event, and hosted the Q&A with him. And as thanks, he gave us this amazing framed picture. In fact, if you go on my Instagram, you can see it. Casey Rain on Instagram. I put a picture of it up today.
So
yeah, that's. But we need to rearrange our whole wall to fit all these things on.
Totally.
So yeah. Next question.
Wait. I want to comment on something, because Samuel here, and sorry if I'm not pronouncing your name right, but you just said I need that. Are you talking about the banner? Because I think they sell some of them still, but they're pretty hard to find, because I think they were like promotional banners for like record stores, where they used to have like the really big hanging banners. So, but it's really awesome. So, like, if you ever stumble upon it, like definitely worth it, because it's purchased, because it's really good quality as well. So yeah.
Michael Eisenman says, "Did you see the New Girl episode with Prince?" Of course. As soon as it aired,
I love that.
so funny.
It was
so
great.
Funny. I like. My only thing about that is just like it makes me wish he had done more things like that.
Yeah.
That's the only
Just
thing.
like cameos in
just
shows.
so just naturally funny, and like we obviously in the 80s, we got in 1990 we got the 3 movies, the 4 movies if you include Sign of the Times. And then in the 90s, things like 3 Chains of Gold and stuff like that. But it seemed like in the last kind of, 20 years of his life, there was less, maybe, less stuff like that of him, acting or things like that. 3121 movie obviously never came out. I feel like that should have come out.
Yeah.
So when I saw New Girl, I was like, Prince should be doing this more.
It must have been so amazing I think all the actors that have worked with him on it have spoken about it on different talk shows and how great an experience it was. And I just loved how the ping pong thing was included, the table tennis. Just love that. Like, who's gonna beat Prince in a match of ping pong or table tennis?
Exactly.
Nobody is.
Exactly.
Okay. There are so many comments, everybody. Thank you so much. You're awesome. You all are.
319 says, "Did you guys ever get to meet the great man in person?" I did. It's a story that I've shared a few times, probably in our videos and elsewhere, and in a blog, and probably it's come up a lot. So I won't give you the full story today. But for everyone watching, yes, I met Prince. Indigo Nights, one of the after shows after the 21 Nights in London. Purely a situation where I just happened to be in the right place at the right time on my own, and like all the stories say, like anyone we interview will tell you, he does this thing where he just appears, and that's exactly what it was like with me. He just appeared, and it was just me and him for a few minutes before everyone else clocked that he was there and rushed over, and we chatted, and he was so happy. He was beaming from ear to ear. Amazing.
I think that you've told the full story in potentially one of our, I don't know, like if you've been with us as a subscriber for a long time, because we've been doing this for quite a few years now, but I think you've told the story in one of our episodes of This Week in Prince way back when.
Our old school subscribers will remember This Week
also
in Prince.
Our old school setup and like our really crappy camera and just oh wow.
Anyway, that's that one.
I just spotted that one of my friends from Holland, Fritz, is in this chat. So hello, Fritz.
Shout out to Fritz.
Greetings back. Shout out to you. Thanks for watching.
Jude says, "Love Sexy Live DVD is a must re-release." It's criminal that it's never had a digital release. The only release of Love Sexy Live is those 2 videotapes from the 80s, and then like the Japanese like laser disc, which is still an analog format that nobody outside of Japan
I want
really
the laser
had.
disc. Does
But
anybody have that? I wonder if anybody that's watching this, does anybody have that laser disc in their collection?
But yeah, a digital release of
Yeah.
Love Sexy Live. It has to happen. But I'm sure the Prince estate know that. It's just a matter of timing.
Yeah. Ernest, I am like so here for all of your collection and all the stuff that you have. That's amazing.
I'm trying to scroll through all of the comments, and there's so many. What is missing from your collection that you really want, says Curious Child. I mean, I could just go for the ultimate, which would be an original Black Album.
Whoa.
But given that those sell for like $30,000 or something ridiculous, I don't see that happening anytime soon. Honestly, I don't know. I don't know what else other than that. There's so many things. One thing that I do want, it's not super rare, but it is kind of like, it's not super cheap to get now either, and I really regret not getting it at the time. It's just the piano and a microphone tour book.
Oh yeah,
yeah. That's something I want. I think they do pop up on eBay fairly frequently, but they're like $150, $200 or more, something like that. Which is, it's doable. but it's a commitment at the same time. So we'll get it sooner or later.
I think a thing that obviously I want to collect a lot more of the vintage t-shirts, like that were tour t-shirts, and just like any t-shirt that there is out there and it's vintage and it's been around. I want it. And also I want to have every single tour book that Prince ever made, because people don't really do tour books anymore these days, so they're really cool collector's items to have.
Tour books are great.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Mr. Nelson 89 says, could you two name your favourite Prince side projects? No, there are so many. I have a real soft spot for What Time Is It? By the Time, the second album By the Time. Mostly down to, I mean, the whole album's phenomenal, but mostly down to 777 93 11, which for me could take the crown as like the single like greatest funk song like ever made. Just that bass line and that Lindrum pattern is just undeniable, and everything about that song is just next level. So What Time Is It would definitely be one of them. Another one is Maserati.
Ooh, I agree. Oh my god.
So
yeah, Players Ball, 100 miles an hour, just yeah.
It's just the whole. I think Maserati's album is so underrated, and it's one of those things that it's just such a shame that only Prince fans really know about this record. And people, the sort of common knowledge or what was told to people at the time was that Prince's involvement was limited to 100 miles an hour, but that's not actually true. So I happen to know for a fact that some people know that he wrote the lyrics to Strawberry Lover and I Guess It's All Over. I suspect that might be him on guitar on Strawberry Lover as well. Nobody's ever confirmed that. May or may not be. But one thing that did come to light in the last few years was that if you know the song I Guess It's All Over, which is the closing track on the Maserati album, the ballad, that's Prince playing the guitar solo on that track, which one of the members of Maserati confirmed to me. And the interesting thing about that, he's playing it on a 12-string guitar. Prince very rarely played a 12-string guitar.
Yeah.
Obviously, he could play one. He could play anything.
Yep.
But there are very few instances of Prince playing a 12-string. And so that solo at the end of I Guess It's All Over is Prince playing that solo on a 12-string, which is just phenomenal.
Okay, I wanted to say something here, but then I started reading the comments. Okay, let me say what I wanted to say first. Let me read another comment. There's 177 of you here, and we love every single one of you. Okay, but one of my favorite side projects that Prince did, and this might be something that not a lot of people might think about right off the bat. So obviously, love Vanity 6, love Apollonia 6, love all of just great anything that Jill Jones did, just all amazing. But I really, really love the work that he did for Matika, so the stuff that he produced for her. That is all fantastic stuff. Honestly,
we got the Martika's Kitchen single vinyl on 12-inch recently. So yeah, that Martika stuff. Whew. In fact, that whenever I think about Martika, I think about when we saw the NPG last year. The last time we saw the NPG at the Fine Line in Minneapolis, we went there right after Celebration.
Yeah.
And the NPG performed "Love Thy Will Be Done."
Wow.
And it was just such a moment to hear that.
I think you had the whole place crying at PG. Literally everybody was just...
What an incredible song.
Wow.
I mean, it's ridiculous. How many songs does Prince have that are kind of under the radar for the general public? And just I mean, Love Thy Will Be Done is one of those...
So gorgeous.
Just, again, underrated gems.
Yeah. Then 71 Martinez said, I had a parade shirt from the show. Somebody jacked it from my locker in high school. That's no good.
Blech.
Who did that? That's horrible. I'm sorry that happened to you.
Let's read a few more. Oh, I see the one that you just read. Family and Jill Jones for me, says Jude. Both fantastic albums.
Absolutely.
Jay says an original Black album is on eBay for £30,000. Yeah, I think I might have to pass on that one. Unfortunately. Purple Cat Confetti, will you hook up with Peach and Black sometime? So, funny story. We hate them. No, we don't. We love Peach and Black.
Hey!
Peach and Black podcast. Phenomenal. So, Captain from Peach and Black, he reached out to me on Twitter probably 6 months ago, 8 months ago, a year ago. It might even have been a year ago when we were in Minneapolis where Captain reached out to me for the first time. Obviously we've known each other for years, but he DM'd me and he said, do you guys want to come on Peach and Black podcast? And we said yes. what has happened ever since then is that the time gap between Australia and the UK is such that if he's working, we're sleeping. When he finishes work, we're sleeping, or we're working, or something like that. Or we've never been able to sync up a time where either he's not working, or we're not working, or we're not asleep, or he's not asleep. It's a very difficult time gap to cross. But I spoke to Captain again probably a few weeks ago. We still really want to do it. We're gonna make it happen at some point. The Violet Reality and Peach and Black will do an epic something, podcast, video. Maybe we'll do something for their channel and they do something for us, and something's going to happen.
If you make a video podcast, is it then a podcast?
That's not. Is that a word?
Is that a word, people?
Vodcast?
I don't even know.
Anyway, the point of this elongated story is that we love Peach and Black. Shout out to Captain and Player and Toe Jam and all the Peach and Black folks. Love you guys. Incredible work.
I love how everyone is shouting out Madhouse in the chat. Yes.
Yes. Madhouse.
Oh, Madhouse 8. Oh.
Woo. Okay.
Okay.
Justin Long says, I didn't know there was a website. I just subscribed to the YouTube channel.
Thank you so
yes,
much.
thevioletreality.com. We've got amazing writers, amazing team of writers. Please check it out. Especially, as I mentioned before, the articles today, incredible writing.
Oh, I love this question. I just found one on my phone, that one.
Yeah.
Michael Eitenman says, would you rather see Prince in a studio for an intimate session or have a time machine to see him at any concert with nosebleed tickets? Oh my god, that's a question.
That's like the world's hardest question.
I love it though.
Studio for me, I think.
I don't know. I think so too, actually. But then what year? What album? What year? What sessions?
That is just the world's hardest question.
You know what? We'll make a video on this one day.
Yeah. I'd have to think about that.
But yeah, definitely for me, studio as well. I think just because of how intimate it is. And yeah.
Lisa Kay says, did you get your shirts from Paisley Park or the online print store? Sorry if you already said. I got here late. That's okay. Happy to have you here at all. I got this one from some random website like a year ago. I don't know what it was. Yeah. Anyway, there's not much of a story there, sorry.
Love how you're looking at me. I'm like, I can't add anything here either. Sorry, people.
You got yours from eBay,
Depop.
Depop.
Yeah.
Depop. But I've seen it on eBay as well.
Hello, everyone.
Kim's
Depop.
one
It's
is...
a shout out to you.
Kim's one is, it's an Exodus shirt. It says the Exodus.
Oh, it's really cool on the back.
Yeah.
Let me see if I
It's
can
NPG
show you.
Exodus. Can you see that?
If you can't see, I don't think you can.
Turn around. Exodus has begun, it says on the back. So that is an official 1995 Exodus shirt that was in mint condition for being like,
it's amazing.
However many years old at this
Whoever
point.
looked after that, thank you.
Yeah. Red Ninja says, I have to go, but before I go, I have a question. Do you have the full Crystal Ball CT set? Yes, I do. It cost me a lot of money.
Ooh. Jamie Wright says, maybe a controversy concert if you were to pick, like, for nosebleed tickets. I love that. That's a great idea.
Yeah.
I kind of want to can we not just flip it around and have a time machine to go to anywhere where we'd possibly want to, like in any given time in any given year? How about that? Is that okay?
Mule Funk says, I want the Vicky Waiting instrumental in the Batman movie. WJ De Jong says, yes, Vicky Waiting is a beautiful song. Richard Orton says, Anna Waiting became Vicky Waiting. All of that is true. We heard Anna Waiting. We heard the song. Anna played it to us. And whoa. All I'm going to say is that needs to come out. I mean, if a Batman Deluxe is ever on the priority list of the estate, then Anna Waiting has to be on it. If you saw my Batman facts video recently, I did speak a little bit about it on there. The sort of key difference is, A, it's really long. It's much longer than Vicky Waiting. B, there's additional vocal harmonies on the chorus. And C, there's a whole bunch of different lyrics on it, obviously, because it was rewritten to make it fit for Batman. So, for example, he says in the second verse, Lonely Town instead of Gotham City, a reference to London. And I think the thing that struck me, I don't know about you, but the thing that struck me the most when we heard Anna Waiting is that there's a difference between when you're hearing somebody
sing to and about somebody that's a real person.
Yeah.
You know, aside from the fact that, you know, she's sitting right next to us, but a real person as opposed to a fictional character of Vicky Vale, it suddenly becomes a different song. It becomes a very personal song.
Definitely.
And that you know, that made it amazing.
Yeah, it's just, I think that, like, obviously if you write songs yourself as well, it's probably, you have that feeling yourself when you're writing a song about someone. Only if it's a positive song, though. If you're writing a song about someone in a negative way, you might have that feeling. I don't know.
Yep.
There's so many songs written about so many people, not just in Prince's catalogue, but in, like, any musician or artist catalogue, really. I love it when songs are written from people's personal perspectives and, like, things that they've gone through in their personal lives, because it gives it so much more, like, value, and you actually feel like you're listening to a story. And I feel like it was always that way with Prince. So yeah.
In your opinion, the best 90s Prince album, says Mr. Nelson. I think we know what Kim's going to say.
Oh, the best one.
Yeah.
So my favourite one is Emancipation, but I don't necessarily think I would say it's, like, the best one.
Okay.
I guess the best one, does it have to be my opinion, or does it have to be what, like, sold the most and what made the most?
No, your opinion. It
like,
says your opinion.
Stylistic and, like, all that. I love Diamonds and Pearls, but then Come is, like, up there. Like, I love the Come album. Like, it's so good, especially Pheromone. Oh my god.
I would say for me, Come is the best 90s Prince album. I feel like that album is flawless, like start to finish. And I feel like, okay, there's this whole kind of thing about people, you know, him picking tracks off that album, putting them on Gold Experience, and switching the orders around, and obviously those two records done at the same time. And the kind of general feeling is that he felt that the Gold Experience was the more important record because it was the first Symbol album. But I think that him doing that made him not overthink Come too much, and it just works flawlessly, like start to finish. Like, yeah. I'll be honest, Gold Experience I could do without, like, some of the interludes and stuff. Like, okay, you know, they work like the first few times, so you don't want to hear them every time, right? And yeah, it's a phenomenal. It's still a phenomenal record with phenomenal songs, but Come just feels like an old school Prince album, just song, bam, 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 done. Like, whew, I love that record.
Some people are also saying, people like Jude is saying it, and I can't read your name from there, but I can from here. Kane's Girl 623, they're saying Love Symbol is, like, their favourite from the 90s. That's a great album. So Love to the Nines and just all that. It's just, I love that album too. Like, I just love all of them. Like, it's hard to pick. It's like, I guess for him it was also like his like albums and his songs were basically like his babies he was putting out into the world. So it's just but like for a Love Symbol and also for like the Gold Experience, they're all like, you know, like craft together and there's interludes and all that, and Come is just like, here's a bunch of songs that you're just listening to. You can just listen to them, and like a lot of them are like darker for like what we've been used to from Prince, like in the albums before that. So like Pheromone and what other songs are? Papa is pretty dark as well.
Yeah. Loose. Yeah. Just brilliant record. Yeah. I mean, it's a weird question, because ultimately, if you could ask that question about any era of Prince, and you know, people's answer is going to change like all the time. So it depends what mood you're in.
Yeah.
But I think something about just how solid Come is from start to finish. That's for me.
Aw, Emily Rose has to go back to online learning now. She doesn't want to leave, but she has to. Bye. Thank you so much.
Emily. Thank you for tuning in. Emily, you know, we're always around. You know, there's going to be lots more live streams and videos. So let's see, a few more questions. We're going to do a few more questions before we wrap this up.
Yeah.
Let me see. Okay. Mike Allsop says, what project would you both like to be released that is probably in the vault?
I'm
not going to be facetious and say Extra Lovable, but yes, please release it at some point. I mean, come on. It should have been released on the 1999 Deluxe. We've said that already. We've ranted about it. We've gone over that many times. Anyway, I just need a clean, just quality, original Extra Lovable. But
yes,
projects-wise,
I really want to see the 3121 / Lotus Flower movie.
Yes, me too.
I just love seeing Prince in that paradigm, that bits of acting interspersed with music and performance or whatever. I just I want the 3121 movie, Lotus Flower. Also, I want the song Cosmic Day to be released in full. There's been a bootleg circulating for a few years of Cosmic Day, 1986 Camille era track.
Yep.
I think it's brilliant. I think it's brilliant. Cosmic Day should come out.
Yep.
But I'm just talking about songs when I could be talking about projects. The Second Coming, again, another project that that needs to come out.
There's
what else?
There's so much stuff. It's like there's too much to even think about. Like, what if there's projects in the vault that we don't know about, and that there's like whole other movies there and whole other things that we've never read about because we didn't know they existed, and he was just like, "No, I'm not going to release that." And then
I mean, Prince said in an interview once, somebody asked him about what they'd find in the vault, what they'd find if he opened up the vault. And one thing that he said was something about like a psychedelic rock version of The Time. And as far as I know, like there's never been like a huge amount of evidence of what that might be song wise or I don't think Morris has ever spoken about it or anything like that. So I want to know what he was referring to when he mentioned like a psychedelic rock version of The Time. That sounds amazing.
Well, you know what? Hopefully a lot of this stuff is going to come out during our lifetimes, and then obviously like they're going to like carefully pick what they want to like release and at what pace and all that, and a lot of new stuff we'll be able to hear. But yeah, so let's do like 1 or 2 more questions or comments, and then we're going to wrap this up.
Oh, Fenster mentioned the grand progression.
Oh my god, yes.
Yes. A deluxe. I want a deluxe graffiti bridge with all of the outtakes from the movie that didn't get put in the movie, including that sort of cut out full sort of opening scene of Can't Stop This Feeling I Got. I want that. And all of the unreleased songs of the alternate configurations of that record, including the grand progression.
Yeah.
Because there was at least like 3 or 4 different album configurations of Graffiti Bridge from the time he began working on it in like 86 or early 87 through to when it came out in 1990 and basically became a different movie. So Graffiti Bridge that came out is not the movie that Prince originally wrote. The original Graffiti Bridge that he wrote, and the script is out there in some format, or bits of it at least. It's not the same movie. It wasn't a sequel to Purple Rain.
No, it wasn't.
It wasn't a too much of a Battle of the Bands thing. The Time were not in it. There was some sort of rumors that he was going to have like Tony Lemans in it and people like that, and Maserati at some point. And it was kind of, there was a movie that he was writing called The Dawn, and that kind of evolved into the first version of Graffiti Bridge. And then you may or may not know the bootleg track Cocoa Boys, phenomenal track, that was written for this movie The Dawn, that then evolved into the early Graffiti Bridge, and so on and so on and so on and so on. So again, you could make a fat deluxe Graffiti Bridge with all of these unreleased songs and all these different tracks, and
for sure you can.
And yeah.
All right, let's pick like 1 more, I guess, and then we've got to go because we kind of need to like have some dinner and all that stuff.
Alessandro Tincini says waiting for your Graffiti Bridge video. Yeah, that's next, but it's gonna be an epic one. There is so much ground to cover with how that movie started and what it became eventually. It's
hey, you know what? I could make a video on Graffiti Bridge just talking about how amazing his hair was in that era. It's like, whoa, and the fashion, and oh my god. Okay, but that's for another day, everyone. Okay, let me just have a look. Okay, so Mr. Nelson89 again is saying, I think Planet Earth was an awesome album too. I actually think that as well. There's some really good songs on there.
Gary Wright says, I heard one time he had enough songs to put out an album a year for the next 100 years. What do you think?
Whoa.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you could probably do an album of a year for at least a few decades of stuff that's unreleased that has bootlegged. And then you have to consider that there is a ton of stuff that is unreleased that has not been bootlegged. And that's even before you get into alternate versions of songs and different mixes and remixes, and I can see that happening. I think You know, there'll be Prince albums coming out when kids who are just being born are like full-on grown adults with their own kids, and it's not going to stop.
So, all right, I think we're going to wrap this up now, everybody.
Yep. Let's just take one more.
Yep.
So, Mallard says, hey, you guys, love your channel. If you could arrange an Outtake album to release, what songs would you pick to be on it? That is a question that requires some detailed level of thought.
You want to you want to be in this with us till like 5 a.m. tomorrow morning?
We could go on for hours and hours and hours picking unreleased songs.
Yeah.
From the
How
vault.
about we one day do another live stream and then we all put our favorite unreleased songs in the chat and then we compile an album all together. That would be awesome. Let's do that. Let's have that be the next live stream.
Exactly. Bob says, did you show Kim the Music is Healing video I sent before the show? Yes, I did. She saw it. Hilarious. Thank you for that, Bob. It's on my Twitter. I retweeted it if anybody wants to see Bob's Music is Healing video. Very cool. And yeah, I think it's we've gone past an hour now. I think we should wrap this up.
Everyone's saying thank you so much for like joining in and supporting us and watching our channel and having stuck with us for years and like staying around after and obviously thank you for like keeping Prince's legacy alive and like passing his like love and what he stood for and everything and just like all of that onto like future generations, because this is so important. Like he was so groundbreaking and just I want to say so many things, but it's like it's hard to because you kind of well up when you say stuff like that because he's no longer here, although technically you can still feel him around. So whilst his like actual like being as in like his body might no longer be here, his spirit still is.
Yeah, for sure. And before we go, I just want to reiterate one thing that I said at the beginning of this video, and that's when I thought, how do I want to spend this day? How do I want to answer my own question that I asked a few days ago? I just thought I want to talk to people about Prince.
Yeah.
That's what I want to do.
Or
and so
with people.
Yeah. Talk with everybody that loves Prince and that wants to talk to us about Prince and have that discussion, and just that's what I wanted to do. That's all I wanted to do today. It's my favorite thing to do. So I want to thank every single one of you for joining us here and talking with us about Prince. Hopefully you've enjoyed it as much as we have. We thank you. There will be lots more things to come, more Facts You Didn't Know videos, more other videos, more live streams, just more fun and passion and love. And that's it.
All right, well, we love you all, and we hope you have a great, either way, rest of your day, however you want to spend it, be that listening to Prince's music, watching his movies, but even if you feel the need to, like, you know, be sad and cry and let all of your emotions out, that's absolutely fine, too. Like, anything you need and anything you want to do. All right, everybody.
We love you all.
We love you.
Purple
Bye.
love to all of you. Thank you so much again, and we'll catch you next time. Peace.
And be wild. As always, that's like the motto of life. Bye, everybody.
Yeah.